The Boeing 720 was a bit of an unusual aircraft in the Boeing lineup. For a start, it was the only one not to follow the Boeing naming strategy of the 7X7 that began with the 707, something that persists to this day. The jet was more than just a variation on the 707, though. The Boeing 707 was the plane that changed aviation. Developed from the Dash 80 prototype, it brought competition for the DC-8 and paved the way for mass acceptance of jet air travel. In just 2 years following its launch, the 707 had become the fashionable way to travel, but sales were slow. To encourage more orders, Boeing sought to develop specific variants of the 707 for different customers. For Braniff, for instance, Boeing built the 707-220, a variant designed for hot and high operations to South America. The long-range 707-300 was designed for Qantas, while the Rolls-Royce powered 707-420 was preferred by BOAC and Lufthansa. In July 1957, Boeing announced a derivative that was designed to fulfill a niche for United. The 707-020 would be a shorter aircraft designed to take on shorter routes from shorter runways. After input from launch customer United Airlines, Boeing decided to rename this derivative the 720. According to Boeing, the 707 was designated the 720 when it was modified for short to medium-range routes and for use on shorter runways. Engineers reduced the fuselage length by 9 feet, or 2.7 meters, changed the leading edge flaps, and later installed turbofan engines. Boeing built 154 720s between 1959 and 1967. Its short to medium-range role was later filled by 727s and 737s. Boeing states that, although the 720 was outwardly almost identical to the 707, under the surface it was a completely different beast. Its structure was much lighter and carried much less fuel than the 707. This resulted in a lower gross weight, better takeoff performance, and a higher top speed. The 720 also had an improved wing with a greater sweep and reduced drag. The rearmost overwing emergency exit was removed on both sides, although 2 overwing exits remained an option for high-density configured models. Initially, the 720 was powered by 4 Pratt & Whitney JT3C turbojets. These pushed out 12,500 pounds of thrust and gave the aircraft the power to fly 131 passengers in 2 classes to a range of 2,800 nautical miles or 5,200 kilometers. However, the more popular engine option was the JT3D turbofan, which delivered 18,000 pounds of thrust. This gave the 720 the ability to fly 156 passengers to a range of 3,200 nautical miles or 5,900 kilometers. The 720 entered service with United Airlines on July 5, 1960, with American following less than a month later. Other notable operators included Lufthansa, Eastern Airlines, Northwest Airlines, and Western Airlines. In the 1970s, the first 720 ever built was renamed the Starship and was used as a private charter jet for rock bands, including Led Zeppelin. One 720 was even flown by remote control and deliberately crashed in 1984 as part of an FAA and NASA test project. The JT3D-powered 720B was by far the more popular variant, with 89 sold compared to 65 of the turbojet-powered 720. In 1960, just 4 years after the type was launched, Boeing cannibalized the future of this plane with the introduction of a direct competitor in the form of the 727. The last 720 flew as a flying testbed for Pratt & Whitney Canada in 2010, with its last operational flight taking place on September 29th. That particular plane is now on display at the National Air Force Museum of Canada. Have you ever seen a Boeing 720 in the air? Share your experience with us by leaving a comment. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe before you go.